Optimal Optimus, special bot, lots of damage. And that's what we need to focus on. That he's there to do damage. He's not there to protect your team. He's not there to do anything else other than huge damage in an area. Now, because he does fire damage, but because he does fire damage in an area away from him, you can consider using certain combats with acid. Now, the problem with that is that with the acid combats, is that you can't guarantee when that's going to happen. It's every 10 seconds. So, yeah, you can use that. It's going to be good to get the, 50% of his DPS, which is about 500, 600 DPS in an area added onto his fire, which is amazing. It's just about 10k in an area, quite a big area as well. So that acid can be beneficial. But for me, because he's a frontline bot, but because he's a special bot, I think to myself, he needs to stay alive. That's my focus, is keeping him alive. You can't use his ability to really keep him alive in any way. It doesn't protect him. And so you need other ways to protect him instead. So that's why I generally put Alchemist on him. Personally. I know some other people will put other prime cores on. They may put Liege on. It depends on your preference and how you're going to use them. But I always look to try and look at my bot's shortfalls and try and give them a core or a combat or something to get rid of those shortfalls and help them. And like I said, one of his shortfalls is that he dies quite easy. 38,000 health sounds like a lot, but it's not when you compare to the likes of Pipes that goes up to like 60, 70,000 HP when they're under their shield. So Alchemist, because it heals him while it does his damage and damage in an area. And then I like to put Primal Star Saber on, because literally it gives him extra damage, which is obviously always beneficial on a bot that does high damage anyway. But it also gives you that Optimus Prime Hollow that protects him a bit, puts that hollow in front of him and gives him that bit extra protection. Obviously then it has that massive strike coming down, does 2.5 times the equipped bot's damage. And because he's there for damage with 1,200 DPS times 2.5, you're talking like nearly 3,000 damage in an area added on to what he's already doing. So the Primal Star Saber is there for the extra damage. The Alchemist is there to keep him alive. Now again, you could easily change Primal Star Saber for Bash Breaker to add that acid to that fire. It's always beneficial. You can also use Enerax, which gives him that increased health. You see that quite a bit on people using in wars. For a simple reason, like I said, is to give him that increased health. We're talking about what he lacks. And it is health, it is healing, it is protection. So any sort of combat that can protect him, give him extra HP, give him something to keep him alive, that will be beneficial for Optimal Optimus. You do have his core. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't even think I've even got it on live. I don't think I've got it on core, on test even to show you. It sort of vectors him back in time. I'm not a fan of that. If I wanted Vector on him, I would put Vector on him. But I'm not a big fan of the Vector core. Gives him that extra lease of life. Yeah, but then my sort of take on that is don't let him die in the first place. I'm not one of these people that are like, oh, if he dies, just don't let him die. Through good pathing, through protection, through using other bots to keep him alive. But still a very good bot, massive damage dealer, and try and give him something that sort of focuses on keeping him alive and doing more damage. You can add him a combat and a core to keep him alive. You can add a combat and a core to give him more damage. Whichever way you want to sort of go with him is up to you. But I would definitely focus around damage or protection or a bit of both.